That's a good. That's a good one.
Okay, we are recording. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Senator, first of all, I want to start out with, were you at the Capitol yesterday? Were you in Washington?
I was, yeah, I was in the Capitol. Certainly, it's an experience that I will never forget, and everybody who was there will have shared the same experience. Basically, I was sitting at my desk in the Senate chamber. We had begun a debate on issues related to the counting of the ballots, and to be there just was fairly typical debate. Then suddenly to have Secret Service rush the vice president, pull him off of the podium. We had the Sergeant of Arms jump up on the podium and ask us all to remain in place. There was an emergency, and then order folks to immediately lock all the doors of the chamber. So it was an intense time, and certainly it was all like, what's going on?
Right, I can only imagine. And so today, today, the day after, a lot of people are reflecting and trying to still process what exactly happened yesterday. And now you have added your voice to a growing chorus of asking the vice president to invoke the 25th Amendment. Talk about that.
Well, I do believe that we need to invoke the 25th Amendment. Clearly, we have a president who's not fit for office. What we saw yesterday was outrageous, and the actions of this president really starting months ago as he continues to put out conspiracy theories and false allegations of voter fraud in the election. All of the evidence is clear that this was a fair and free election. He continues to falsely claim it is stolen. He continues to really stoke the emotions of many of his supporters and making them angry as a result of his false allegations. And yesterday was the culmination of that as he was calling people to come to Washington, D.C., sending out tweets. It's going to be wild. Come here. His speech beforehand, sending people to the Capitol, and then the violent attack on a Capitol, something we've not seen in this country, to have that kind of violence against what which is really the citadel of our democracy, the United States Capitol.
Now, doing this is not an easy process, and it's not a fast process, is my understanding. He's only got 13 or 12 days left in this presidency. We're also hearing reports that the vice president is not even taking a phone call from Pelosi. Do you think this is more a symbolic gesture of calling for this, or do you really realistically think that this could actually happen given the time frame?
Well, certainly it's a very tough, short timeline, but it's important to send a message really to future presidents that this type of behavior is simply unacceptable in a democracy. You can't have a United States president sending folks to the U.S. Capitol who will engage in a violent attack because of his incitement. That's something that we need to condemn roundly as Americans for the future. It's important to show there's accountability. It's not just elected officials, folks, including the National Association of Manufacturers, which is a very conservative group of business people, certainly a lot here in Michigan with a manufacturing state. Many people may remember that former Governor Engler was actually the head of the National Association in past years. They have said that it is, or they have asked the vice president to invoke the 25th Amendment, saying that this is a threat to our democracy, something that cannot be tolerated, and it requires extreme actions at this point.
The other thing that has been brought up today, and again, it may be a little bit of Monday morning quarterbacking, but a lot of people are just still trying to wrap their heads around why wasn't the Capitol Police better prepared for this kind of insurgency? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, we have to get to the bottom of how this happened in the first place. So there's no question. I'm currently the ranking member of Homeland Security Committee as a Democrat, and now that we have taken the majority, I'm the incoming chair of that committee, and I plan to have an investigation to ask very important questions as to why the Capitol Police weren't able to secure the perimeter, but the building itself as well, to allow folks to come in. These are important questions to ask. We need to get to the bottom of it, and we have to make sure that this can never happen again. And if it happens again, we could also have folks that are more heavily armed and could create considerable mayhem in the Capitol. We have to make sure that that building is secure and that the people's business can be conducted there in a secure fashion.
Okay. Senator, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Stay safe, and thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.